Alright guys, keep in mind, this video is a little long. I'm sorry for that, but please enjoy, and just wanted to give you an overview of what I have, stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and enjoy the video. Hey guys, what's up? This is the Hackers 101, and this is not usually what I do. As you know, I make hacks for different devices, but today I'm going to be showing you my room. It's pretty cool, filled with a whole bunch of video game crap, and I thought I'd share it. So here's just a video about my video game collection. I'm going to be starting from left, going all the way to the right. Then there's some boxes in my closet for different game consoles. Then there's a box over here, and all my posters, stuff like that. Yeah. Alright, first off, let's start with this thing right here. This is the Commodore 64. Largest selling computer model ever. Yeah, if people are going to ask about this, and what this thing is here is when I was like 4, my grandma actually gave me this stool that everything is sitting on, and since 4-year-olds can't spell, I wrote Zeke stole. So yeah, don't make fun of me for that. But anyways, first off we have the tape drive, which you insert a tape, then you press load, and then you type load on this thing, and then you press play, and then it loads up the program. Here we have the main computer itself, excellent condition. I got this great deal from this guy on Craigslist. Gave me a whole bunch of Commodore stuff for $80. It came with like 3 computers, all in the original box, stuff like that. So I kept one of them, sold the rest, made a profit off the deal. Great, yeah, great computer here. I've used the Atari systems before. I actually have one over there. I have an Atari computer in my closet, but I'm selling that on eBay. So yeah, but yeah, here's the computer. Mine have the gray buttons. Yeah, here's what the cords do. This is for the floppy drive, this is for the video, and this is for the tape drive. This is for the power. Here we have the floppy drive. So what you do, take a floppy. Let's just grab a sample one here. You insert it like this. Then you would type load, parenthesis, yeah, parenthesis, start parenthesis, comma 8, comma 1, or quotation, excuse me, not parenthesis, and yeah, then it loads up the program. Obviously, you have to turn the drive on first, though, so yeah. Here we have the Commodore 1702 monitor. Works great with the Commodore computer. I also got this from that same guy on Craigslist, a little dusty. Not a big deal, but yeah. I don't play this as often as I would like to, but I play it every now and then. So yeah, pretty much every game that was on the NES came out for the Commodore. So yeah, over here I have all of my Commodore, or I have some Commodore cartridges. Have some all my Commodore floppies inside of this floppy drive holder, or floppy disk holder, excuse me. And then I have some spare floppy disks back here. Alright, moving on to my first actual console. It's really dusty here for some reason. Have the NES Top Loader. Great console. I use this probably more than my toaster, only because I don't have to jiggle the cartridge around with this thing. I just stick it in, you know, press the little then it loads up, the reset button. And yeah, I got this pretty cheap off of a guy from Craigslist. Paid, I think it was 20 bucks for it. Great deal for a top loader. So yeah. Also came in great condition. A lot of them have scratches by the buttons. Also, a lot of them have cracks in them because people usually step on these things. So yeah. Here we have my Nintendo 64. My opinion, best console in the 5th generation. Yeah, 5th generation. Do not have the expansion memory, because I don't need it, because I don't have any expansion memory games. Hoping to get Majora's Mask soon. Maybe StarCraft 64, great game. Yeah, so that's the Nintendo 64. I haven't really... I also got this cheap from a guy off Craigslist. It came with like 20 games, plus the console and the video cord and the AV cord, all for I think it was 20 bucks or something like that too. I find a lot of great deals on Craigslist, so yeah. Also, this thing is in great shape, no scratches. Well, there are some scratches, but they're not severe, so yeah. Alright, gonna move up on the shelf. Here we have my NES Toaster. The only reason why I use this is because it has the AV ports, which means that it gets a better picture. But pretty soon I'm going to be sending this this top loader into a guy that I found on eBay who mods top loaders and puts the AV out on the back. So yeah. Then I will probably get rid of my... no, I'll keep my toaster, but it will probably be in my closet. So, yeah. Here we have the SNES Mini. I actually bought this myself when I was like 3. They were closing them out at... oh, man, that was on. Oh, well, yeah. They were closing them out at furniture store when I was like 3 or 2 or something like that. So I don't remember it myself, but my dad said that I bought it because it was like 20 bucks. Had this thing forever. It's a great console. No wear or anything on it. I barely use this at all. So yeah. Never really played this thing. Never really played it until I started collecting video games, but yeah. Over here we have the original Super Nintendo. I just bought this, or actually I bought this thing about a year ago from another guy off of Craigslist. I don't particularly like eBay because eBay is expensive, so yeah, great condition, no yellowing on it. These things tend to yellow after after so many years, so great deal. Yeah, you know, the power, eject, reset. This thing is also in great condition. I actually play this more than this, only because it's the original and because it has this, which makes the cartridge like 20 times easier to pop out. Plus, I never really liked the design of the Mini. I always liked this design a lot more, so, yeah. Alright, gonna move up another level. Here we have the Genesis, the tumor, and the cancerous tumor, as I like to call it. What this actually is the Genesis with the 32X attachment and the Sega CD attachment. I never really played the Genesis because I don't really like... well, to be honest, there aren't really any good Genesis games, except for Sonic, of course. But, yeah. Play the Sega CD all the time, though. Play games like Terminator, Dragon's Lair, Sonic CD, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a fun game, Popful Mail. Yeah. 32X, never play it. Horrible games for the 32X. Pretty much the only good game for the 32X is Metalhead and Knuckles Chaotix, which I both have. Never play those, though, because they're really bad. So, well, they're bad, but they're like the only remotely good games, so yeah. Alright, that's the Genesis with the Sega CD attachment and the Sega 32X. Over here I have my Sega DreamCast. I have also had this thing forever. Dreamcast also tends to yellow after so many years, but thankfully mine hasn't. Yeah, I bought this when I was, I think, 5-ish. They were closing them out at GameStop because Sega had stopped manufacturing the Dreamcast. Again, I got mine cheap. I think it was like, I got it for like $15 on, I think mine was used, and that's why it didn't come with the box or anything, but it came with the AV cable and the power cable. So that was all good, and it came with a game, which was Sonic Adventure, and it also came with a controller. All of which I still have, and yeah, play this thing all the time. Dreamcast, one of my favorite consoles of all time, has great games, great homebrew for this console. It really disappoints me that this console didn't beat the PlayStation 2, because this was a better console. It still is a better console than the Xbox 360 and the PS3. Don't flame me for that, please. Just my opinion. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, so, yeah. Yeah. Underrated console, amazing games. If you ever get a chance to get one, buy it. Alright, gonna go up over here to the PlayStation 1. I have also had this thing forever. Never played this thing, though. Never played it. Spilled some orange juice on it when I was a kid. Never been able to get that stain off, but otherwise in great shape. Never had in original memory card. Always had the third party. And yeah, there's some great games for the PlayStation 1. All of which I played on my PlayStation 2 when I was like in the single digit ages and stuff like that. I used to play PlayStation 2 all the time. But yeah. PlayStation 1, great console, mine's in pretty good shape. Still never really played this console. I was never really a PlayStation 1 person. But, yeah. Over here, have my PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 for me was actually my first game console. Not really. Technically, that was my first game console because I had that before I had this. But, like, I got this, like, at Toys R Us when they were closing them out. I think it was for, like, $50, right as the PlayStation 2 came out. I went there the next day. Toys R Us had made a mistake, actually, and they were selling PS2s under the PS1 price, which was $50. And so my dad bought it for me because because that was a steal for a PlayStation 2 that was new. Yeah, obviously, though, this is not my original PlayStation 2. My original one was a fat model, but the laser on that one burned out, like, a couple years ago. I got a replacement one. I don't really play PlayStation 2 anymore because of the newer consoles, but I have great memories on this console, such as GTA San Andreas, Mercenaries, Crash Bandicoot, even though that's for the PS1, I played it on here. All of the Disney games I used to play, believe it or not, those were fun. Or, they probably wouldn't be fun now, but they were fun when I played them, so, yeah. I actually still have the original memory cards. I've had these for as long as I can remember. Never got replacements because they never broke, so, yeah. Hacked my PS2 so I could play backups. All of my PS2 games are actually downstairs in my basement, so, yeah. Yeah, okay. Up here I have my Xbox 360. Again, this is the original fat model. Don't have the slim model. Don't plan on getting the slim model. Even though it would be convenient, yeah. I've actually had a couple Xboxes because they've all red ringed on me. I've had this one for a year now. I haven't had any trouble with this one. But yeah. When I got this one, though, it was an arcade system, so it had the original white disc tray. So I pulled the silver one off of the white, off of the broken Xbox and put it on here. I tried to replace the eject button, but I really screwed up. I broke it. I broke the original one that was in there, so now I don't have an eject button. But I can still eject the disk drive from the XMB, so... no, that's for PlayStation. From the Xbox dashboard, excuse me. But yeah, play this thing all the time. Play mainly Halo and COD on it, but play Gears of War too. Also. But yeah, I'm mainly a retro gamer, so I mainly play these. But whenever I play Xbox, I have a great time on it, so yeah. Over here I have the PlayStation 3. I hate this console. Again, please don't flame me for that. It's just PlayStation 3, graphics are good, you know, has Blu-ray, that's cool. But frankly, it's just not as good as the Xbox 360. Well... I mean, they're both great consoles, right? Don't get me wrong, PlayStation 3 has its advantages, Xbox 360 has its advantages, but for one, Xbox 360, Xbox Live never goes down for 2 weeks, so that's a major plus for the Xbox. And, you know, PlayStation Network is free, but Xbox Live is just so much better. I mean, it's worth paying for Xbox Live over PlayStation Network just because of how much better Xbox Live is. And you know, since I have this CRT TV here, I really don't care about graphics. I just care about having a good time. PlayStation 3 does not give me a good time, so I never play it. It just pretty much sits up there and collects dust. Which sort of disappoints me because I spent $350 on this thing. But I'm sorry, Sony. You had me hooked with the PlayStation 2, but you just screwed up so bad with the PlayStation 3. I just love Xbox so much more. So, yeah. Also, I do have a Nintendo Wii. I do have a Wii, but it's downstairs in my basement right now, hooked up to my HD TV. And that's because it's a family console. It's not really mine. It's more of the family's. So I play Super Smash Bros. With my sister all the time on there. But, yeah, so if you're wondering why I don't have a Wii, I do. It's just not up here. So, yeah. Quick overview of what we've done so far. Commodore 64. All of this stuff. NES Top Loader. Commodore floppy holder. Nintendo 64. SNES consoles, NES Toaster, Genesis 32X, Sega CD, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. Yeah. Alright, let's move on. Down here, I have my Atari 7800. I was going to get a 2600 from a guy off Craigslist again, but I decided not to because the 7800 is backwards compatible with all 2600 games, so I just mainly play them on here. I never really play these two consoles because there's not really any good games for them, but when I do play them, I usually play Space Invaders on here and Pole Position 2, so those are both pretty fun games, but yeah. I bought this from a guy off eBay, actually. I got a good deal on it. I got $50 for the console, the power button, RF cord, and also 23 games and like 5 controllers, so that was a pretty good deal. Atari Jaguar, I actually also bought off of eBay. These are hard to find on Craigslist because they're rare. Or, they're not, like, rare, but they're really uncommon, so, yeah. I'm trying to get in Atari Jaguar CD, but those are rare and expensive, so probably we'll have to wait for Christmas to ask my parents to buy one for me, because I don't exactly have a lot of money. But yeah, games I mainly play on here, when I do play games on here, are Wolfenstein 3D is great for this console, Doom is great for this console, and also Tempest 2000 is great for this console. Can't really think of any other game that's good. Those are the only 3 good games for this console. But the Atari Jaguar does have its place in history as the first 64-bit console. So, I mean, it's still pretty cool. So, yeah, play it. I try to play it whenever I can. But just don't get around to it often. So, yeah. Alright. Here is my Pong console. The Venture Electronics Video Sports. It would be down here, actually, but I just took this over to a friend's house so we could play Pong together. Never put it back in, or I was planning on it, but I never got around to it. So, yeah, it would be down there. But yeah. Once I get an Atari 5200 or a 2600, I'll put it down here and I'll move that Pong console somewhere else. But until then, I'm going to leave the Pong console down here. Alright. I have just showed you all of my consoles. Now, this video is already 20 minutes long, so I'm going to try to run through it as quick as I can. But yeah, here I have all of my Nintendo controllers, all of my Atari controllers, all of my Sega controllers. Here I have a whole bunch of mismatch software, mainly for Commodore, that I don't keep in my floppy disk holder. Whole bunch of Commodore controllers right there that I never use. That's why I keep them in there. Here I have my Xbox stuff, or Microsoft. Here I have my Sony game system stuff, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, and PlayStation 3 controller. But yeah, alright. And the NES Advantage, and a whole bunch of bootlegged games. Actually, they're not bootlegged, haha. These are actually backups. The Dreamcast games are. The Sega CD games aren't. I did download these off the internet, only because Sega CD games are rare and expensive, so, yeah. I do have some originals, but they're not up here, so, yeah. Alright, quickly, I'm going to show you what's in here. Here's where I keep all of my Nintendo games, SNES games, more NES games, my Nintendo 64 games. I labeled them, as you can see. So, yeah. Alright. Here's my Super Nintendo box. All of the original manuals are inside here. Yeah. Here is a box full of Atari manuals. This box is empty. And, alright. Gonna move this bag out of the way. Unfortunately, all of my Atari computer stuff is blocking the way here. But yeah, that thing is filled with about 200 copied floppies. That's a floppy drive. This is all of my Atari stuff, Atari computer stuff. And, yeah, this is a Atari printer, actually. But again, I'm selling all of this on eBay. The auction's actually just ended, so that's pretty cool. And, yeah. Over here, have my Nintendo Entertainment System box. Actually, let's turn the light on my camera. It won't let me, though, so that sucks. But, yeah, here's my Nintendo Entertainment System box, PS3 box, Xbox 360 box, Wii box. Here is my Pong console box. And here is my Commodore video monitor box, which is right there, just like I showed you guys. Yeah, that's about it for my game room, which is also my room, because, you know, here's my bed with a whole bunch of clothes on it, chair, garbage sack, bed where I sleep, iPhone charger, because I have an iPhone, and some bottles. Yeah, just gonna do a quick overview of all my posters. Yeah, here's my Halo 3 poster. Here's my Some Dragon poster that I've had forever. Here's Call of Duty Black Ops poster, Mercenaries 2 poster, Darth Vader poster, Red Dead Redemption poster, the Death Star poster. Here is a picture that a good friend of mine actually painted, so I have that up here. And here is Far Cry 2 poster. Over here I have I've had these since I was like 5. I know they're retarded, but I keep them just because they look cool. Lamborghini poster, Stealth Fighter poster, and Hummer poster. Here's my computer. Here's some rubbing alcohol. Super Mario All-Stars is right here. And some dirty Q-tips. Some Q-tips. Alright. I have an Asus N61JQ with an Intel Core i7 processor, a TI 5730 graphics card, and as you can see, I have an external monitor on here. I know that this place is a mess, but don't want to clean it up, so yeah. Also over here is a mess. There's my bass speaker. It's called the crap, I forgot what that's called. Frick. Oh well, it doesn't matter. In here's a whole bunch of candy. So some garbage, and yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. For my room. Besides the fact that I have a whole bunch of crap up there too, like some stuffed animals that I've had since I was like 5, an empty Dr. Pepper can, and holographic clock, and a rubber band ball. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been the Hackers 101, and goodbye. Yeah, goodbye.